Yes, it is us back again, court in session with me, Elk, and Avenger Only One, Keelan Phillips, and the Bajan Scout, Alan Pinder. This first week, it tell you anything, jump out. Apart from the fact that Indiana is leading in the East, but it's only 2 games in. So, anything jump out to you there, Keelan, for the first week?
The first week, it tells me that the Nuggets are still really, really, really good. Any thought that Bruce Brown leaving would be any drop off. I don't know why, seeing as they still had the same starting five, like Christian Braun and Reggie Jackson, but there's no drop off from those guys. That team is still, in my opinion, the favorite to come out of the West. They look very good. Right now, Christian Braun, and his Western, I can't remember his last name, Watson, I think, from that is on the Nuggets. They weren't getting a lot of minutes last year, but they were kind of developing. And it looks like they're now going to fill that role that kind of Bruce Brown did in terms of, if not by one person, by as a group. Yeah. Also, the Suns. I think the Suns could be really good, but it's also about health, right? So far, Beal and Booker have been out early. And I'm not just saying that because Beal over the last couple of years has been fairly injury prone. KD has been injury prone, and even Booker has been kind of nicked now and again over the last couple of years. But what I'm seeing so far without Booker and Beal is, if you're a Suns fan, it has to be encouraging. Like, you're getting wins with really only KD there and then Booker and Beal. It'd be interesting to see that dynamic now as Beal as the third wheel, but you could only be encouraged from there. And of course, I gotta talk about my Spurs. Nobody's 1-2. Nobody's 1-2. Wemby.
Yeah, to get one.
Yeah, hey, at this time last year, for some reason, this time last year, we were actually 5-2. I don't know what we were doing. We were taking backwards to start the season. I don't know. but Wemby, I people at the beginning were like, I think, not overhyping, but were like saying like, oh, he come in and be average 20 this and that. And he has a chance to average 20, but I think his defense is way more ahead of his offense right now, especially because Pop says that they don't really have a lot of plays for him. They kind of like free flowing to see the best areas for him. I think they only have like 1 or 2 players for him. All right, it's just the system that they have. They said defensively he looks great already, but I think as the season goes on and he gets more comfortable, then we'll see the offense start to think. But I didn't think on the jump that he would, just be third best. According to some people, in his third year, be the MVP of the league. I didn't think that. I did that was a bit of a stretch, but those are my main takes so far.
What you, Alan? You see anything that jump out at you?
Yeah, I think we saw a good proof of concept for Dame and Giannis, and when that pairing works well and worked well in the clutch game, yeah, we saw how that worked like perfectly well. But I think we also saw that we can't get too ahead of ourselves because then Dame didn't had issues getting double figures in that other game. So so I think there's several ways to go, and it's not a done deal. The guys still got to play the games. They still got to make sure that guys can deliver consistently. But we got a good proof of concept, really, as far as concerned. And Keelan mentioned, you said, I think their supporting cast is a bit better than I anticipated, a lot better. So, but it's still early. But it looks. I didn't think their supporting cast would be very good, especially with the injuries they have right now. Yeah, they're a lot better than I expected, that supporting cast. So this team it might have a chance. I didn't think they would be able to challenge seriously in the West, but yeah, I'll keep a close eye on them now.
Yeah, I had a little thing with the Warriors because I always felt if you're going to start Chris Paul, you're going to be really small, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of surprised me because they are small.
Yeah, they're small.
But it kind of surprised me because I didn't think that lineup would be Kings. right?
Yeah.
And then Houston, although you say Houston is not like a not hope team or anything, but I didn't expect that they are so small. Like, I think they're gonna make some moves though. They got two empty roster spots, so hopefully they will look for somebody, some two veterans or some two bigger players because they can't afford to play Steph and Chris and Clay. I got Clay holding a point forward and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So I think small ball is one thing, but small ball all time, I don't think. And again, Crush. The good thing about it though is that I've noticed Kaminga and Moody seems
Yeah.
to, have made a stride. Not the stride
Yeah.
that Warriors will want, but a
Yeah.
stride towards being a little bit more consistent. But I think when the minutes start to get, when they actually start to get the minutes locked in, that
Yeah.
they can perform better. But I still think that Warriors is a strange team over in that West. You know if they're real good or if they're just gonna be real bad, right? But
Yeah.
I know, or just in between. So, you know, it is going to be interesting with the Warriors.
Warriors is
Um,
one of the team that I feel like you don't think that they go win the title, at least not yet, but it's like a team that you just don't want to face like in the playoffs still. It's one of them teams that like could judge you for a round. Cause if Steph has the ability to go off for a series and just like you can't do anything about that. And then Clay has been up and down of late, but like his up could be in a series. So like
Yep.
it is and you mentioned the small ball. I think the biggest misconception that people get. Like it says that the lineup that they had last year where they went small, where they had Draymond, the 5-man lineup of um Looney is a big, but he's not like 6'10, 6'11, right? But when you got Looney, Draymond, Clay, Steph, and Wiggins, right? That I had the best net rating out of all of their starting five. The problem is that people seem to not understand. Yes, you can play small ball. You can't play the entire game. You
yeah,
can't play that
that,
40 minutes. Like when you play that 40 minutes, that's when you see its effect start to dwindle a little bit. Like when it's played in a certain amount of minutes is when it really pops off. But like if you play that an entire, like if you play that 35, 40 minutes, but and then in an entire series, like as we saw with the Lakers, against bigger teams, they're gonna struggle.
yeah. And the other thing too is OKC. I was a little
Ooh.
OKC is another strange bird too. They got some length. I mean, they
Yeah,
actually got some length.
And
But
they weren't bad last year, remember? So
yeah, that is true.
yeah,
yeah.
and
So
they got checked
so
now, so they should they
yeah.
and as a young team growing, yeah,
Yeah,
they should.
they're only gonna get better, man.
It's
Yeah,
true.
they get. And when they get like mid season, and they're still knocking around, somebody is going to be in some trouble.
It's true. It's true.
So that's the first week in the NBA, and we really eagerly look forward to the second week. But now we want to go to the Bajan Scout, who is Alan Pinder, and he usually gives us his fantasy pick. So the floor is yours there, Alan.
Well, hope you're paying attention to the scouting report last week because a lot of those young guys that were available that I was talking about, I'm not sure if they're gonna be available this time. Well, yeah, if they're gonna be available for you this week. But if they're not, you should definitely pick them up. I was concerned about Jalen Duran and if he was going to get any minutes for the Pistons in their starting lineup. But they're crowded front court. But I knew he was going to start, so I told you guys to keep an eye on him. And he really distinguished himself in that first week, averaging about 18 points, 15 boards. So yeah, the second year guy is doing really well so far. So also Cam Thomas. Usually when he gets minutes, he lights it up. And for some reason, he wasn't getting a ton of minutes when he net. I found like Javon was playing him sporadically, but I guess with a couple of injuries they've been having, they played him a bit more, and yeah, he's averaging anything north of 30 in his first couple of games. So he's definitely worth picking up. Don't know if he's going to maintain this, but yeah, if he's still available in your league, you definitely should pick him up still. Sati Adama, I was thinking he might be able to contribute for the Grizzlies, but who definitely needs some front court help. They just picked up Bismack Biyombo, but Adama's hurt, so Xavier Tillman has been playing pretty well for them. Um, he could provide some value in the short and probably in the medium term while they deal with the injuries. So that's another young guy, another third-year guy to keep an eye on. With Anthony Simons being out for the Blazers, the natural pickup here is Shaden Sharp, second-year guy. I think been about 20-point game so far. So definitely a good guy if you need, help at the end of your roster, some points, some threes, and he gets some rebounds as well. A young guy that can provide some value. And just in general, keep an eye on these young guys, especially with the new resting policy that they're going to have. I think so far it looks like teams aren't that deterred by it, and they're still going to find ways to rest their guys. But I find a lot of young guys who are going for that super max, I think those guys are going to want to qualify or going to want to make sure they hit that specific games and make sure they are putting themselves in line for those NBA honors. So I think those young guys are going to look to play. And as you know, in fantasy, the best ability is availability.
Yep. That is Bajan Scout Alan Pena, and always have some really good info, especially on the picks. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to see if I can pick up a couple of people. You might think all of a sudden, no, Donovan Mitchell is hurt. I don't know. He started off on a tear, and all of a sudden he hurt.
Hey, I picked up Jalen Durant immediately. It's 10 off. Or Allen.
Right. So we get good picks from the Bajan Scout Alan Pena, but you know that court in session is not a court in session unless we have a pick 5. And last week, Mr. Avenger Only One was perfect with a 5-0 record. I barely got a win. I thank the Lord for the Bucks. And actually, they only win by 1 point. So thank the Lord that the Bucks won the game and they was able to get off the mark. And also, Allen had 2 wins last week. So it's a good start. Good start for the Avenger Only One, but it's just the beginning. So this week we have 5 more games. Game number 1 is New York at Cavs. New York at Cavs.
First off, we should start naming this Key Lines Flavor instead. Anyway, Knicks versus Cavs. As you said, the Cavs thing is interesting. Because no Donovan Mitchell, it seems like a little hamstring problem. So I don't know. But the Knicks, though. I pick Knicks, man. I pick Knicks.
Are you going next? So Keelan going next. What about you, Allen?
Yeah, it's in the Cavs to defend home court.
Okay, so you're going
So
with
you
the
go to
Cavs.
I think there's a bad pick.
Let's see. New York Cavs. New York Cavs. And Cavs. I ain't going with Cavs.
This is a bad pick. I don't know.
On Wednesday, New Orleans at OKC. This is going to be a good one.
Ooh.
New Orleans at OKC.
Well. I'll go New Orleans.
You go New Orleans. So I'll go New Orleans. What about you, Keelan?
Kind of like I feel the Pelicans as well.
You going to Pelicans?
Yeah.
You were perfect last week, but I will go with OKC.
You.
I'll take it. I don't mind. Game number 3 is Orlando at Utah. Remember, Orlando is leading in the Orlando is actually leading.
Yeah, at least Orlando started out fairly well. They have a good young team. Right? They have a good young team. You say Orlando versus Jazz?
Orlando versus Utah. And Utah is 1-2.
Yeah, they come off and not long come off a win against the Clippers.
I'll go with the Jazz.
You're going with the Jazz?
Yeah.
I'm going with the Jazz.
Again with the Magic.
You're going with the Magic. I mean, you said that was real convincing there. You know what I mean? Like, shit. I'll take Utah.
I honestly spit on that. I wanted
Brooklyn and Chicago. I wonder if they're going to teams only meeting.
Where is this?
Players only meeting.
I mean,
This
where is this
is
game? This is
Brooklyn
in Chicago?
Chicago.
The way how they've been playing, they should have just a trade meeting, just trade everybody. But you know me, I going with the Rosen, so I can pick the Bulls again.
I'll go the Bulls here too. Yeah.
Hopefully, Cam Thomas won't drop 40 this time.
Yeah, I'll go with the Bulls.
Yeah, I think I go with the Bulls too.
Hey,
I feel they deserve to win a game.
But they already won one.
Yeah, they won one.
It's Brooklyn who deserves to win a game, though.
The final game, though, is Sacramento at Houston.
Oh, Kings.
Yeah, I will always go my Kings.
Come on. I walk Kings? Nah.
I might go I'll go to Rockets on this one. Don't forget Fox is hurt, so I will go.
Have you seen the Rockets?
You saw. I think they'll start turning corner eventually.
But
they saw the play home, you know.
They play bad against the Warriors. They look good against the Warriors.
You saw what Steph did to Dillon Brooks?
Yeah. That was not clean at all.
Look, all that can happen here. Fucking that means minutes for Malik Monk. 30. 30 for Monk.
Monk had not the Brooks.
All right.
Steph put out the Brooks, but yeah, not Monk.
So that's it for another courting session. And right now, the court is adjourned.